it because the skin will just ultimately push it out.
Yes.
The skin pushes things out. So we have to be aware of that. So we cannot apply too much products. And also, people say, oh, but products are so expensive. Don't use so much products. If you buy certain products, it's supposed to last you at least 3 to 4 months.
Mm.
So only 1 to 1.5 dispensing pumps of all your products, from a cleanser to a serum to a moisturizer. Don't apply too much, because if you apply too much, this is when the reactions start to happen. This is when
Mm-hmm.
you get um, breakouts, sporadic breakouts, or even a bit of a response, a severe type of reaction, like it becomes an irritant or an
Mm.
allergen or a stimulant to the skin. So less is more.
You heard the doctor. Less is more. 086 2032 is the number that you can call us on, and 061 410 4107. Dr. Judy is in the house, and we're talking all things skin. It's October, it's Skin Awareness Month. So, whatever you want to share, you can share with us. Whatever advice that you want to get from the good doctor, please go ahead and ask her. She is here to share her expertise. 1, 2, 3, as you heard, it's the 1, 2, 3 step. Add in a serum here or there, but the right one. And we've spoken about this before, particularly when it comes to serums, right? Because there's so much information out there. A lot of folks, there's different percentages, and we don't know which percent is what percent. But you are very clear that as we get maturer and our skins get older, there's certain percentages we shouldn't even play with because they're not for us. We must go for the big baby daddies, the big bangers.
Yes, the big papa bears. So, a nice way to explain it: when you were a fetus in your mother's womb,
Yeah.
you were, growing week by week. And it's very interesting that inside the amniotic fluid, there are, nutrients in there.
Mm,
And it's so interesting to find that week by week, the nutrients in the amniotic environment starts to increase in concentration because of the demand.
mm,
And as we get older, the skin gets more weaker and it becomes more vulnerable. So now it says, I want more, I
mm.
demand more. So, yes, when we're in our teenage years, we can use retinol, but we're not going to push now 0.1%. We're going to rather go 0.05% for
Mm.
argument's sake. And then in our 20s, we can apply slightly more. And when we really hit our 30s, then I would say now we have entered the space of proper anti-aging.
Yeah.
We can increase the concentration of ingredients. We can use the more powerful anti-aging ingredients so much more. Higher concentrations of vitamin C, higher concentrations of hyaluronic acid, higher concentrations of retinol.
Mm,
And then obviously in our 40s and our 50s, then it's time to say, guys, let's budget now
mm.
for some professional treatments as well. Incorporate chemical peels and incorporate microneedling, because all of these things with some good homework really makes a remarkable difference. And sometimes people say, but Dr. Judy, these things are very expensive.
Mm.
It's true, it's expensive, but you can ask yourself more or less, how much money are you willing to spend on your skin per day?
Mm.
And that's a bit of an open question. But technically speaking, if you buy about 3,000 Rand worth of products right now, and you use it for about 90 days,
Mm-hmm.
3 months, then it's going to cost you about what, 30, 33 Rand a day. And then if you start thinking about that, then it changes things for you. And then you realize, okay, it's not so bad.
Mm.
And certain products don't finish um, all at the same time. So then you have to only replenish
Yeah.
every now and again. And it really makes a difference in looking after your skin, because remember I said the skin is a protecting organ. So what do you do to protect the protector?
That's the question for you. And we've got some WhatsApps here. Let me start with a question, and then we'll see how far we get before the headline news, and then we'll come back on the other side of the headline news. So if you want to get in your voice note, get in your question, get it in now, because we have a short show today, so we can't stretch the conversation too far. 061 is our WhatsApp line. Hey, Bridget, my legs itch at night. When I scratch them, they get worse. I've tried zinc ointment, but nothing has changed. And after taking COVID vaccines, my allergy reactions worsened. Please assist. We have a lot of people who associate the COVID vaccine with a lot of things.
You know, I actually saw the other day some of these pharmaceutical companies have so many lawsuits against them because
Mm,
of some of the side effects. But it's true, it did decrease, the overall holistic vulnerability of certain people. And if you have that itchiness on your body, there's also a term for it. It's called pruritus. So
mhm,
there's severe itchiness on the body, and it can be associated with these irritants and stimulants and allergens that I've mentioned before. So in this particular case, the moment when you experience that itchiness, my first advice would be, if you want to make it worse,
mm,
then leave the skin dry. Try
mm,
to apply certain moisturizers on the skin at least twice a day, because the more hydrated the skin is,
mm.
the more calming it would become, and it will bring some form of relief as well. And if you can, look for certain moisturizers that contain ingredients like tea tree or even eucalyptus, because that will bring you some form of sensoric relief and something that's really occluding that will help with that severe itchiness. And of course, you can take some oral medications like antihistamines and so forth. But eventually, the rule of thumb when it comes to allergies, try to eliminate things that you think could have been the culprit for the irritant or the stimulant or the allergen, like pollen and dust, and maybe something that you ate like peanuts or shellfish,
Mm.
or even certain medication like aspirin or penicillin and so forth.
All right. I hope that assisted you. Let's take a quick pause for the headline news. She's perfectly on time. Andela standing by, and then we'll come back and we'll go straight to WhatsApp.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, an illegal gold refinery operating in Poisons, Johannesburg, has been uncovered following a raid by the Johannesburg Metro Police Canine Unit and the Hawks. Deputy Police Minister Kasal Matale says more than a year later, he has not been delegated any tasks by Police Minister Senzo Mchunu because they waited for him to get settled in his new position. And Google has unveiled plans to restart a mothballed nuclear power plant in the U.S. state of Iowa to power the company's artificial intelligence infrastructure. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
All righty, 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line. We're going to go to your WhatsApp voice notes now. I'm going to tag two things. I'm going to read the message and then we'll play the voice note as well. So there's a message here for us. Firstly, greeting Dr. P. And then it says there's a herbal remedy called St. John's wort, I think, i.e., hypericium. Am I pronouncing that correct? Does this have a side effect of causing actual brown marks on the skin? And this is Sandra in Benoni. And then let's go to voice notes.
Hi, SFM. I'm a 70-year-old male suffering with psoriasis and eczema, and I'll be grateful if the doctor can advise me on what medication I can take because my body itches a lot and what diet I can be on to prevent this and help me with my psoriasis and eczema. Thank you and God bless you.
All righty.
Hi,
Oh,
Bridget.
did you want to play the other
This is Matthew from Cape Town. I just wanted to find out from the doctor. I've got a problem with my both foot, at the back of my foot, especially in the sides of the foot. My skin is getting dark, and sometimes the skin is peeling out itself from the foot, and it's mostly dry. Now it's about maybe almost 2 years doing the same thing. I tried to change the creams, but there's nothing that I see like it's changing. I don't know if there's anything that I can do with it now because I'm trying each and every cream that I can put or lotion. Now I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, we're gonna get back to the other voice notes. So, Doc,
Good day.
we had uh, we had the psoriasis from 70-year-old
Yes, we
gent.
have the St. John's wort
Yes.
and scaly, flaky,
Mm,
itchy skin. So, one of the things are when people experience skin discoloration or pigmentation. This can be to any form of, external or systemic extremities. So if it's external extremities and our skin start to discolor in certain areas, like pigmentation, for instance, we can ask ourselves the questions. There should be a reason why this response happened, because there's a skin cell called a melanocyte that produces pigment, and it only produces pigment when there's inflammation
Okay.
around. Now, the inflammation can be a wide array of things. So, if it's environmental, it can be UV, it can be temperature, it can, even be using product at the wrong pH. But sometimes certain systemic type of products can also cause melasma or pigmentation to take place. And typically, the culprits here are medication.
Mm.
I'm not saying that it is,
Mm.
but it can be a possibility. From my experience, it's usually a cascade of many things. It's poor diet, it's medication, it's probably bad habits like drinking too much coffee and alcohol and, smoking and all of these type of things that lead to these skin discoloration.
Mm-hmm.
Then individuals who struggle with eczema and psoriasis. Already this tells you that there's a immuno, suppressing type of environment from a systemic point of view. Psoriasis tells you that the immunity is very, very low. Now, of course, there's no cure for this.
Mm.
Even in our previous show, we talked about the skin and brain axis, and basically what that meant was that the brain and the skin is directly connected to each other, because from an embryo layer point of view, it forms part of the ectoderm,
Mm.
and that means that emotions is also going to show on your skin. So if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling stressed, it's going to show on your skin, and that's why anxiety, stress, and these type of things probably going to express as eczema. So that
Mm-hmm.
can be a reason. And then when it comes to psoriasis, then immunity is basically the only reason that causes psoriasis. And my advice to both of these things is try to get all your vitamins and minerals in for the day, a good probiotic, but the most important vitamin is vitamin D. And I know many people are going to fight with me and say, yeah, but we are living in South Africa and there's enough vitamin D here. No, 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 no. There's 9 million people in this country that have a vitamin D deficiency,
Sure.
and you may be one of them. So go to your doctor, get tested for vitamin D deficiency, and ask your doctor, can he or she script you with a high dose of vitamin D, like a 50,000 IU vitamin D tablet that you can drink once per week.
Mm.
And really, people see remarkable difference in terms of their overall health and fighting off disease,
Mm.
and also skin health as a whole.
Awesome.
And basically, that was answering the third question, because the gentleman said he did everything now.
Yes.
He doesn't know what more to do.
Mm.
And perhaps systemically, this is what we need to do, is replenish ourselves more with all the vitamins and minerals, but this time around at a higher concentration. And this also tells you sometimes if certain problems don't go away when it comes to the human skin, then there may be something wrong systemically. I mean, I can even go back to heart diseases. If
Mm.
you have a heart disease, it's going to show on your skin. It's going to show on the lower extremities. You're going to maybe have a little bit of edema and swelling. Your your fingertips may have a bluish type of color.
Mm.
Your lips may be scaly and cracked, for instance, and have a bluish type of color, because it shows that there's a lack of oxygenation in your blood. You may have some lipid expression on your skin, which shows that your cholesterol levels are high. And usually, when things reoccur, it just comes back and it comes back no matter what you try, then don't underestimate that something may be wrong systemically. And that's why you have to get it checked out.
I want to sneak in another question, but I also let's take the break quickly so we get that out of the way, and also do some mathematics to see when we have to go into Kids Corner, and then we'll come back and we'll sneak in 2 or 3 other questions.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 Rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Get ready for the biggest flavors from South Africa's smallest chefs. The Taste Master Junior, every Tuesday evening at 7:30 on SABC2, follows 12 talented teens as they whisk, chop, and bake their way through fun foodie challenges and try to impress the judges Zola Nene and Fritz Quinn, who will rise to the top and be crowned South Africa's next culinary star. Don't miss the Taste Master Junior. Tuesday evenings at 7:30, repeat Wednesdays at 1 and Sundays at 4 p.m. Only on SABC2.
Extraordinary is built on innovation, and Vodacom Business is leading the way. Cloud that scales with your business. Security that earns trust. AI for smarter, faster decisions. IoT that connects systems and people. And connectivity that bridges every gap. With these technologies working together, Vodacom Business is helping to build a better connected, future-ready South Africa. Visit vodacombusiness.co.za. Together, let's build the extraordinary. Vodacom Business, further together.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 Rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 Rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
The Expresso Morning Show has been nominated in 5 categories in the 3rd Annual National Film and Television Awards South Africa.
It all happens on Saturday, the 22nd of November, 2025, at the South African State Theatre in Pretoria. And public voting is open from the 13th of October to the 20th of November at midday.
So visit nationalfilmacademy.com, register, and vote for Expresso Morning Show in all 5 categories.
Then, of course, catch us weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. right here on S3.
Call us on 086 000 2032.
All right, let's, without wasting any time, let's go straight to WhatsApp.
Good day, Bridget and Dr. Judy as well. I'm a single parent, so allow me to remain anonymous. My son is 10 and has been diagnosed with eczema. He loves football and play on a dusty ground. Any advice on the medication, especially the one over the counter? Please help. I'll listen on the radio. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sis Bridget. I just actually want to ask a question, but with regards to the skin topic you have in the doctor. With regards to that topic, my daughter, she actually went overseas to complete her honors degree, and she came back, and she's fairly light skin now. She's like a yellow bone, and she's a brown skin melanin child. So is it a natural thing? Because she keeps emphasizing that she's just natural, and she gets so angry and all of that. So is it a natural thing, and or are we as her parents overreacting for some reason? I just want to know that. Is it a natural thing that women go through? Daniel here in Bryanston.
Daniel seems like he's perplexed because his daughter changed complexion.
Scientific reason for that.
Oh.
Yeah. I will explain. But let's get back to the footballer.
Yeah.
So yes, there are certain things that can actually aggravate eczema. And from what it sounds like, that maybe he's struggling with eczema on the body. Like typically it comes in the folds of the arm or the folds behind the legs and so forth. So something over the counter, again, replenish with vitamin D if you can, vitamins and minerals, but keep the skin hydrated. You can buy over the counter spritz that's called hypochlorous acid. It's a very natural kind of antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, anti everything. Very calming for the skin, highly anti inflammatory. It just brings relief all over. So, spritz the hypochlorous acid on those particular areas, wait for it to dry, and then on top of that, apply a fragrance free nappy cream. So, it occludes the skin and the skin stays hydrated and moist, and it just brings some relief for those eczema patches.
Okay.
Then listen to this interesting fact. If there's a complexion change, like physically, the daughter experienced that there was a complexion change when she was north of the equator, come back and it's darker. There's only one explanation, and that's the UV rays. Because north of the equator is UVA rays, south of the equator is UVB rays. So north of the equator, the UVA rays usually penetrate so much deeper into the skin and it irritates the dermis. So it's the middle layer of the skin. So the outer layer of the skin is not really irritated because there's these rays that penetrate through. But here, south of the equator, the UVB rays penetrate, only here on the epidermis, the outside. And that's why we have a continual irritant on the skin, like every moment of every day when the sun shines. There's a continual irritant on the skin, and this irritant causes pigmentation and causes pigmentation indifferences. And it's not only that. I mean, if I were to travel north of the equator now, then I struggle with skin sensitivity. I don't necessarily deal with complexion indifferences, but my skin becomes so much more sensitive when it's that side. I actually get eczema breakouts when I travel north. And even people who travel from north to south, they experience our UV rays so much worse. I've seen people from the UK with fair skin tones and types, and even some of the Scandinavian countries who really suffer when they get here. They burn immediately. Even their perspiration is different. So definitely the UV rays has a direct impact on the function and the biochemical characteristics of the human skin, depending where you are on Earth.
So she didn't use any skin lightness. I think also you just answered this other written message that we had from a parent, Daniel, who wanted to inquire about their daughter. Who also has eczema is a big thing today. Who has eczema, and every time I took her to the hospital, they told me to use betamethasone. Is it betamethasone?
Yeah.
At least twice a week. Is there any other treatment for eczema? Once we stop applying the betamethasone, sores come out the whole body. That's from Daniel.
Okay, so I would like to go back to our previous topic where I said skin and brain access. So really, it's the effect of emotions on human skin. If we are stressed, cortisol increase, and we can have more breakouts. If we are anxious, we get more eczema. We start to pull our hair, we scratch our skin more, we bite our nails. If we are depressed, there can even be a lack of hygiene, for instance. If we have obsessive compulsory disorders, we can clean more, we can scrub harder. And even some body dysmorphias happen with emotional feelings. And it's now October. I don't know whether the children are actually writing exams, but don't underestimate the fact that they are so stressed, they are under pressure, and the stressed environment can definitely add to the eczema breakouts. And yes, what I've heard is maybe someone advise a cortisone ointment, and so it does help, and it's going to help and take it away. But it's a short-term solution, and you cannot use cortisone for long periods of time. It's not favorable, it's harmful for the skin. So try to find environments where there can be equilibrium and homeostasis, exercise, meditation, good sleeping patterns, good lifestyle habits, and so forth. And then occlude the skin, like I've mentioned, with a hypochlorous acid and a fragrance-free nappy cream every day, at least twice a day. I am sure that it will definitely make a huge difference.
Dr. Judy, thank you so much for coming through and for indulging us this afternoon. That was Dr. Judy Pretorius. She'll be back again in about another week or two. She'll be in the house with another riveting conversation of topic that pertains to skin. That is where we leave it today. Hopefully you got some advice. There was a lot of focus on eczema. So if you're a parent with a kid that's got some kind of eczema condition, you might want to double back to our podcast. Let's get into Kids Corner. Speaking of parenting, it's time for our kids programming.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. This program is brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
Hello, friends, and happy Monday, and welcome to our Monday edition of Kids Corner. It's that time of the year again. Final exams. Have you started writing yours yet? Exams can be a little stressful, but remember, taking care of yourself is just as important as studying hard. Why do you think it's important to look after yourself while studying for exams? What are some of the things you do to relax when you need a break? Do you get enough sleep during exam time? What kinds of healthy foods or snacks help you stay focused while studying? And how do you keep a positive attitude even when things start to feel tough? All right, let's hear from some of our friends while you share your answers with the people next to you.
Hi, my name is Mbalekle Mhuzulu. I have not started writing my final year exams. It is important to take care of yourself while studying so that you stay focused and allows you to remember what you learn. Some things that I do to relax when I need a break from studying includes going on walks and listening to music. Yes, I do get enough sleep during exam time. Healthy foods or snacks that help me stay focused are fruits and water. I keep a positive attitude by taking breaks and encouraging myself.
Hi there. My name is Bridget Masinga, and I go to Macaulay House School. No, I have not started my final exams yet. I think it's important to take care of yourself while studying for exams because it is very easy to get distracted by anything. So, if you can set some time aside to focus on yourself and the rest for studying, you will have a great and effective routine. Usually, when I take a break from studying, I go and eat, watch videos on YouTube, or I just move around boldly. I do get enough sleep during exam time because I don't always get home late, which means I have a lot of time to study. I usually prefer to just have water next to me because it is nice to sip on it while studying. I simply keep a positive attitude during exams, even when it feels difficult, by focusing on passing and remembering that this is all for my future.
Hi everyone, my name is Alanda Mzobe. I am 12 years old. No, we haven't started writing our final year exams. I think it is important to take care of yourself while studying for exams because that might need a lot of time and it is important for your upcoming future. Some things I do to relax when I need to take a break from studying. I usually rest for maybe at least 5 minutes and calm myself down and tell myself that I can do it. I stay positive, not negative. Yes, I do get enough sleep during exam time because I don't want to wake up tired. Usually, my dad tells me to eat healthy food such as fruits, vegetables, yeah, those stuff. How do I keep a positive attitude even when exams feel difficult or stressful? I calm myself down and tell myself I can do it. Thank you, everyone.
Good day. My name is Monet Angel Nangoveras, and why I do think it's important to take care of yourself while studying for exams is that you need to take care of yourself because it is crucial for both the physical and mental well-being. It also helps manage stress, and you can also maintain your focus and ensure overall performance, because if you study, then there's a high chance that you might be able to know maybe like 85% of the things that come on your exam, rather than you going to the exam room without knowing anything. So yeah, studying is really important for us because it also helps us in most cases. Some things that I do when I take a break or when I need a break from studying while I relax is that I might just watch TV or listen to music or just do something that will be able to keep me relaxed. Yes, I do get enough sleep during exam time, and the kinds of healthy snacks or healthy foods that help you stay focused while studying are maybe nuts and energy bars that can give you like boost, and also like just normal snacks that you know that can just keep you going. How you can keep a positive attitude even when exams feel difficult or stressful is that you can be you can have a positive mindset by achieving or setting realistic goals, and also rewarding yourself and staying organized. Thank you and have a lovely day.
Hello, beautiful people of Mzansi. My name is Devanzi Shangwane. I will not lie to you. It has been really, really difficult to stay disciplined when it comes to studying. I have studied, I have started, but obviously procrastination is my biggest weakness right now. But day by day, I am trying to get a hold of it. It is very important to take care of yourself while studying because a healthy body and mind helps you focus, remember more, and it reduces stress, right? And also, if you're not okay, most of the time the information won't really get in. So you're basically just wasting your time by studying because you're not learning anything. And something that I have tried to um, implement before I study is do maybe like a short exercise, maybe even if that's running a lap around the house or doing some jumping jacks or skipping, just to get my mind moving, just to get my, my blood flowing so that I'm not too tired. And also, something I also like to do is instead of being on my phone or watching TV while I'm on a study break, I will exercise a bit more or maybe go on a short walk, just to relax and ease my mind. Some healthy foods that can help you stay focused are nuts, fruits, yogurt, and water. And something that I've actually had is a fruit salad. Nothing too crazy, even if it's just two fruits, but I do like to have them on my table. And water's number one. And sometimes I try to switch it up with the water. One day I'll do lemon water, another day I'll put some chia seeds, another day I'll put some cucumber, just to not just have plain, boring old water. To keep a positive attitude, I remind myself that I am doing the best I can possibly can. And I also kind of congratulate myself for giving myself the time to actually study and not allowing procrastination to get to me. Because on some days it becomes really hard and procrastination does win. Something that I also do is I write short Bible verses to just keep me motivated. And something that I also do like doing before I open the book and study is pray, to ask for understanding and to ask for focus and to ask God to block the distractions or anything like that. And it does work. And also, something that I also do is I imagine myself getting 100% because that is like the most motivating thing. While you're studying, you're telling yourself that, okay, I know this, I'm going to get it. So it's like that is my goal. And as I study, I work towards it. So yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you, friends. It's always great to hear from you. It's that time of the year again. Final exams. Many of you are probably busy revising and preparing for those big papers. Exams can sometimes feel a little stressful, but remember, it's not just about studying hard, it's also about taking care of yourself while you do it. Whether you are feeling excited, nervous, or a bit of both, you've made it this far, and that's already something to be proud of. Taking care of your mind and body helps you stay focused and calm. When you eat healthy foods like fruits, nuts, and vegetables, your brain gets the energy it needs to think clearly. Don't forget to drink water too. Staying hydrated keeps you alert and refreshed. It's also important to take short breaks when you study. You can stretch, take a walk, listen to music, or do something relaxing that helps you reset your mind. Maybe you enjoy drawing, dancing, or even chatting with family for a few minutes. Anything that helps you relax before you get back to work. And of course, sleep is super important. Try to get enough rest each night because your brain needs time to recharge and remember everything you studied. Stay calm and positive. Sometimes exams can feel stressful, but take a deep breath and remind yourself that you've been learning all year. Trust your preparations and do your best. Ask for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to talk to your teachers, parents, or friends if you're struggling with a topic. Working together can make studying easier and more fun. Remember, friends, exams don't define who you are. They are just one part of your learning journey. Believe in yourself, stay focused, and take care of your mind and body. You've worked hard and now it's time to shine. Good luck to everyone starting their final exams. You can do it. That's it for today, friends. See you next time.
This program was brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
On the top stories, Deputy Police Minister gives testimony at the ad hoc committee and taxi boss shot and killed in the Eastern Cape. For SAFM News, I'm Ondilambana and a very good day. Deputy Police Minister Kasal Matale says the inclusion or not of the political killings task team was not discussed when the new organogram of the police department was discussed after last year's election. He's appearing before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Police Minister Senzo Mkhulu had told the committee when he appeared that a decision was made that the PKTT would be incorporated into the murder and robbery unit. However, Matale had a different opinion.
Well, it might have been mentioned in passing because we didn't in the organizational structure discuss political killings because it's a task team that was established to deal with a specific problem. Here we're talking about a structure that must define policing in the country.
Matale says more than a year later, he has not been delegated any task by Mkhulu because they waited for him to get settled in his new position.
The minister came into the police department and here to familiarize himself with the workings of the department, which is quite extensive and broad. And since he came in to date, we were engaged in that process, which took quite some time, given the complexities of policing. And I think that is the reason why there was a delay.
An illegal gold refinery operating in Boysens, Johannesburg, has been uncovered following a raid by the Johannesburg Metro Police K9 unit and the Hawks. The facility is believed to be a key processing hub for Zamazama cartels. This raid forms part of ongoing law enforcement efforts to disrupt the full value chain of illegal mining syndicates. Puseletso Mukwena reports.
Authorities were on scene conducting a thorough search, evidence collection and processing of the site. Law enforcement says further details, including arrests and seizure of assets, will be released as the investigation progresses. Puseletso Mukwena, SABC News.
Eastern Cape police are investigating a double murder case following a fatal shooting of a taxi boss and his friend in Ngamakwe. It is reported that police were summoned to a complaint of fatal shooting on a road at Jegezi location yesterday. Police spokesperson Majola Nkotli says on arrival at the scene, officers found a white double-cab bakkie with several bullet holes. Nkotli says a preliminary investigation has revealed that the two victims, aged 37 and 42, were fatally shot by suspects who were traveling in a white SUV.
On the passenger seat, there was a body of a man with gunshot wounds in the upper body. The second body was found lying on the gravel road with gunshot wounds, few meters away from the buggy. The identities of the deceased persons are withheld until a formal identification process concluded. The Provincial Serious and Violent Crimes Unit is investigating the case. No arrest has been made as yet.
Google has unveiled plans to restart a mothballed nuclear power plant in the U.S. state of Iowa to power the company's artificial intelligence infrastructure. The deal is the latest in a series of big tech investments in nuclear energy to meet AI-driven power demands. The BBC's Lily Jamali reports.
The Duane Arnold Energy Center was mothballed in 2020, but is set to return to service in 2029. Google has agreed to purchase energy produced there by American energy giant NextEra in a partnership set to last for the next 25 years. The deal comes a year after Microsoft announced a partnership with Constellation Energy that would restart the remaining reactor at Pennsylvania's 3 Mile Island, the site of the largest nuclear disaster in American history. Energy used to power AI development is expected to consume as much as a tenth of electricity produced in the U.S. by the end of this decade.
Recapping the top story, Deputy Police Minister Kasel Matale says the inclusion or not of the political killings task team was not discussed when the new organogram of the police department was discussed after last year's election. I'm Mondilambana for SFM News Headlines at 2:30.
Gordon Ramsay is back, and your favorite kitchen disasters are still somehow in business. New season, same confused chefs, terrifying walk-ins, and enough grease to fry your Wi-Fi. Watch as Gordon tries to fix the unfixable with nothing but sheer rage, British sarcasm, and an iron stomach. Kitchen Nightmares Season 8, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on S3. Come for the food, stay for the emotional damage.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
I don't love going to school. I don't love sitting in a classroom with 50 other children. But I do love learning. Ndiyakuthanda ukufunda isiXhosa as a language. I do love getting good grades. I do love UCT Online High School because I do love my future. Apply online before 28 November.
Join us Tuesday evening at 6 on Afternoon Express as we open up to your best life. The one and only Somizi Mhlongo goes back to school as part of his newest foray in the world of fashion. Musical maestro Lord Kez unpacks her story and how her newest song is sweeping the nation. And we unpack how every South African can turn their dream into a reality. That's Tuesday evening at 6 with repeats Sunday mornings at 8:30 only on S3.
Clientele is here to safeguard you and your family with compassion because life happens. Be part of a family that truly cares. Our funeral dignity plans have helped South Africans bury their loved ones with dignity for more than 30 years. Let us help you create a meaningful tribute that honors your life and those of your loved ones. We pay out within 24 hours and you will get double accident cover with a clientele funeral plan. Our plans are affordable. Pick the option that suits your needs. Easy to apply, no medical examinations, and no paperwork. SMS SAFM to 48031. That's 48031. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
This summer, the continent unites for the biggest football showdown in Africa. The Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 is coming to your screens, live and available on SABC TV channels, SABC Sport, SABC Plus, and across your favorite SABC radio stations. Catch all 52 thrilling matches, stand behind Bafana Bafana, and experience every goal. Every cheer and every victory from 21 December 2025 to 18 January 2026. SABC Sport brings you all the AFCON 2025 action, live and free, because it's game on everywhere.
For the love of the game.
This is Lungi on any other regular day.
This economy makes me post once a day. Who does that? Like, ew.
Now this is Lungi getting extra with the 20 gig summer deal for just 99 Rand.
I have so many gigs. I could even have a gig, guys. I'm going live every single day to me because guess
Extra your summer. Get 20 gigs plus 2 months free YouTube Premium and 100 Vodabucks. Exclusively on the Vodapay app. T's and C's apply. Further together. Vodacom.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle.
Alrighty, as we enter 2 o'clock, it's just gone 10 past 2. Both the commission as well as the inquiry are back from their break. So we're going to take the duration of the show to dip into the ad hoc committee that's investigating allegations by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. And today we've got the Deputy Police Minister, Kessel Matale, who is testifying. So let's go back into those proceedings, and that will be where we leave the show for the duration of the afternoon.
Agree, a highly unusual day or date to issue a directive of such importance. You're nodding your head, you agree?
I fully agree that the 31st, it's a...
So you do that, and then there appears to be, yes, according to you anyway, the minister chatted to you and deputy minister and so on, but the people involved in the PKTT, they're not consulted. Those are the facts, objectively. The minister relies on a number of reasons why or what informed the directive, including a letter written to him. I'm sure you heard of the Mary de Haas letter. Yeah. You heard of Patricia Mashale, who was referred to the Inspector General. But I put it only subsequently, but the Inspector General actually said that, look, it's highly unreliable. 70-80% of it hasn't been proven. But he relies on things like that. And there's other reasons. So, and then you have the disestablishment of the PKTT, a unit that you have rightly conceded was highly effective, and you can't think why it would be disbanded. But if you link the work that the PKTT does, because now its sort of role has also been expanded to Fort Hare, and it's now also assisting the Gauteng murder and robbery in relation to their dealings with a crime syndicate and a drug syndicate there, and the arrest on the 6th of December, which Kumalo says, when Mkhwanazi said that switched the lights on for them. Then you hear the evidence that Matlala said to the minister, allegedly, that Sabia was going to draft an affidavit which would implicate, to former Minister Cele. He's going to draft an affidavit implicating Khumalo in the theft of a stolen Rolex. So former Minister Cele must speak to Khumalo about this. Now, if all this is true, this you would agree this points to a much more serious problem. And then fast forward into 2025, what appears to be the refusal of the minister to accede to a request by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to discuss the political killings task team with him, his apparent irritation, if not anger. I think you called it, what did you call it? he didn't appear to be satisfied.
I said he expressed his dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction. So the evidence from General Masemola, even he, further on into 2025, he says if you join the dots, then all this looks very suspicious. So I'm hoping to that was a fair narrative or fair summary of what we've heard thus far. Now, given that summary, isn't this more than what you're telling us? Because you're also here to help us deal, because you address the challenges, but it seems to me pointless you addressing the challenges when you say actually the challenges is just get rid of 4 or 5 people and everything will be hunky-dory. And that's not what you're saying.
No.
Then you must tell us a bit more.
No, I said, let's see, that the institution SAPS is intact. Yes, you have elements who do what they are not supposed to do. You remove these elements, will SAPS operate? I say it is operating now. It will operate better. But this does not mean that you won't have elements that do things that they are not supposed to do. Because if I say that, and 6 months down the line or 12 months down the line, something comes out that somebody is engaged in activities that they are not supposed to engage in, and then I will be asked, but you said it will never happen. So I can't sit here and say something like that. This is a big institution, as I said, over 100,000 men and women that are functional. You have a minority that is doing what it's not supposed to do. We have these hearings now involving the minister, the national commissioner, the provincial commissioner of KZN as the main person. But the institution is functioning effectively despite this. This is an indication that the body is well. It's just that the body is not 100% well. Because if it was 100% well, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, well, I thought you said white. No, well.
No, well. Well, yeah. So, yeah. So we that's what I'm saying, Senior Counsel. A perfect society or a perfect institution we wish to have, we will always have elements in it that are doing things they are not supposed to do. And I agree with your session around the resources that SAPS that have affected SAPS. For instance, the number of police officers that we have today is less than what we had in 2010. So over the years, people have been leaving because of old age, others resigning because there are other things they are pursuing. But we're not replenishing every year. It's in the past 3 years that the president intervened and we were able to recruit 10,000 personnel every year to join SAPS. Which gave us 30,000 over 3 years. It has never happened in the history of South Africa to train 10,000 police officers at a go. And our institution could not carry these 10,000 at the same time. We had to talk to the army to provide barracks for us to train some of our officers. It was an intervention to try and build the personnel, because we have instances where in a shift you find 1 or 2 police officers working because of the shortage. So yeah, the issue of resources has been a problem, but there have been an intervention that assisted us to do, and I hope that the president will intervene again so that maybe in the next 3 years or 4 we can train another 10,000, which will assist us to stabilize the institution in terms of personnel. Of course, the resources, machinery, vans, and police stations, there is also a serious shortcoming in that regard, which we discussed and agreed that we must be innovative and think outside the box if we are to effectively deal with these shortages of building police stations, acquiring vehicles, and other equipments that are necessary for our operations.
Now, if you hear, like we've heard in this hearing, that highly placed ministers and former ministers share the telephone numbers and WhatsApp messages with well-known, notorious criminals or alleged criminals involved in high crime. Would you do something like that? Have you got any numbers of gangsters or people involved in crime at a high level? Do you share numbers with them?
I don't.
You don't, because you don't think it's prudent and it's the right thing to do?
I'm deployed here to be part of the team that fight crime. And at a political level, I must conduct myself in such a manner that I lend credence to that mandate that I have been given. So I will not knowingly have communication and correspondences with people who are engaged in criminal activities.
Because one of the things that it's a very important aspect that this honorable committee must look at is how do we restore trust and confidence in the South African police services?
Trust and confidence is earned by the actions that we engage in. If we interact with the South African population in such a manner that we don't earn their trust, we will not get that. I have said on several occasions when I interact with the leadership of the police and with communities that we must earn our trust. When we go to a community and we engage with the community must be able to say, we are happy with the conduct of police officials in our local station, in the district, in the province, and national. And until they say so, we must know that we have not reached that objective. But it is doable because there are police officers both at a station level and even at a provincial or district or national level who have earned the respect of our people by their conduct. And people come to have confidence in them. But if we engage in such a manner that people don't feel and trust what we say, it will be a steep hill. But it's doable because I've seen it practically, where we have intervened, for instance, at a locality, removed a station commander, put a new station commander, that station commander establishing working relations with the community. And the community will say, we are happy with this station commander. Or they will say, when you go and have a community outreach program, they will say, when you live here, you must live with this station commander, because he or she is not serving us to our satisfaction because of A, B, C, D.
But now the problem is worse than that. We're not talking about station commanders. The evidence here is that at the highest level of the police, crime detection, support services, policing, the Hawks, crime detection, crime intelligence. This is what's all emerged here. And yes, it does impact and affect the police, the members down there, because they take instructions from these high-level people. But if you have a minister or a former minister with the phone numbers, and not only phone numbers, but exchanging messages, or even worse, meeting with these people, what message does that send?
Of course, it doesn't send a good message, SC. The reason why the leadership of this institution have taken a decision to establish this ad hoc committee, and the leadership of the country have taken a decision to put a commission that are respectively led by Honorable Khanyani and Judge Matanga, is to precisely to get to the bottom of the issues that that we are discussing, with the view that the day you rise out of this, and the day the Madlanga Commission rises, there must be action and consequences against anybody who has acted in the manner that undermines the rule of law and the integrity of the South African Police Service, the judiciary, and any other person who have abated these activities to happen. There must be consequences.
But
And
Deputy
if there are no
Minister,
consequences out of these two processes, we mustn't expect our people to respect and trust what we say we are going to do. There must be consequences after this.
but the way we get to the bottom of this is through asking people like yourself, in positions of authority, of importance, that we look up to as citizens to keep us safe. For you to come here and to testify and tell us exactly what is happening there. In that way, we unravel whether or not anything has gone wrong, and if so, how to go about fixing it. But we can. I'm still on this point of mine that
thank you.
You can't simply say it's 3 or 4 or 5 people who are bad. We need more than that. I obviously can't ask you to make up stories, but you've been a deputy minister for 4 or 5 years. We can surely say you're in the know. You know what's happening. So tell us what's happening.
I have a chair through you, SC, explained what happened or what is happening. The details of criminality that is alleged to have been taken, you need to have the capability and the capacity to do that. And I think we have men and women with that ability. And I think in the Madlanga Commission, for instance, there are people who have been able to explain and unravel the communications that have been there, who said what to who, and what happened. And it is because of that capability that exists that we were able to put the dot. And we are here because of precisely that capability that is there within the police, because earlier on it was said that there were discussions that appeared to be innocent discussions, and in the course of our capability doing work, certain information emerged that then linked certain activities to what is happening in the country. So it is that capability that have been able to see, no, there is a problem here, what's happening, and that capability that enabled further investigations that then revealed more than what meet the eye. And of course, myself seated here before you, I preside over that capability, but I don't possess that capability myself. That's why within the institution, you have got your detectives, you have got your crime intelligence, who will be able to further probe and get to the bottom of things. So it is through that the issues we are discussing have been unearthed. I think on my part, I did what is necessary for me to come and explain what one has observed over the time, and I did that to the best of my ability without concealing anything from what had transpired.
Well, it seems to me that perhaps we should also, or Parliament should also look at the role that deputy ministers play or might play in the future.
Yeah,
because either you're not telling us everything, or you don't know everything because it wasn't shared with you, or it's been hidden from you, which would be concerning for someone in the position that you're in. And perhaps if we look at going into the future, a deputy minister that you share with your other colleague, Deputy Minister Boshielo, should be more clearly defined, so that you can also act as some kind of so that there's some accountability on the part of the minister also, not to simply do his own thing, because you would accept that the directive of 31 December was the minister doing his own thing. You can't say what went on in his mind.
You want a comment?
I want a comment.
Okay,
He
thank
didn't
you.
act in concert with you or your other deputy. He didn't consult.
Yeah. The existence of deputy ministers is a constitutional matter that within the constitution, the president can appoint deputy ministers to, in this case, the police.
But their roles are not defined.
The roles are not defined, but they must be defined by the minister as to delegate to the deputy minister. And the reason why that has not been done is because the minister was in a process of familiarizing and understanding the complexities within SAPS. And once he is clear on who must do what, he was going to do the delegation, because the president has instructed that ministers must delegate to deputy ministers and sign off and agree that these are the responsibilities of the deputy minister, and the deputy minister will be made accountable for this responsibility that he or she has been assigned with. And it is these responsibilities that the deputy ministers must be held accountable by Parliament, because Parliament have oversight over the executive, the minister and the deputy ministers. And in instances where a specific responsibility has not been assigned to you, you will then be accountable to specific responsibilities that are delegated to you from time to time.
But Deputy Minister, some with a suspicious mind like me, because that's what I do for a living, would also consider the delay by the minister in defining those responsibilities, or rather delegating those responsibilities for you for now over a year, could also have something to do with the fact that the directive has now been issued.
I don't think, Senior Counsel, we could say that. The directive and the delegation of responsibilities are two different things. And the minister did not delegate because he wanted to issue directives before. I don't think he ever thought that way. It's just that for now you will say it's water under the bridge because the directive have been issued and the delegation has not yet been done.
Well, if
Senior Counsel, may we please take
sorry,
Honorable Ngola.
No, Chair, I think the last response covered my follow-up question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You may proceed, Essin.
as a new minister that has now taken more than a year to familiarize himself with how SAPS operates and works, which seems to be your rationale why the minister hasn't yet allocated those roles, because he's still getting to grips what's happening within the police. Is that right?
I don't have another explanation for that. I think that's what I assume is the reason why by now that has not been done.
Again, for those with a suspicious mind might say, well, he got to grips very quickly with why he should get rid of the political killing stars team and not the child trafficking team, the drugs team, you know, all those task teams, those specialist task teams, the mining team, all doing very, very important work. But this particular task team has been singled out.
Well, you can think that way. I can't explain why this one and not that one. I think the minister will be in a position to better explain that particular question.
Do you think? Yeah. Okay. Deputy Minister, just then, lastly, your comment that it's highly troubling, extremely troubling, that you have you know, one of the deputy national commissioners openly dissenting with the national commissioner, with I think our most senior. I think he actually maintains that he's the most senior of all the high-ranking officer, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. You know, he's got his own opinions. So there's a clash with the national commissioner. There's a clash with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who acted as national commissioner, as you know, in 2011, 2012. Openly having differences with them. And Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, highly decorated. Just about everybody who sat where you're sitting have praised him for the work that he has done. And then you have Sabia differing with them and with Khumalo. It's not a healthy state of affairs.
Yeah.
And you're here to also offer some help and some assistance on how do we remedy this situation. We know we're living in a democratic country with labor laws and with a constitution, and it's not a simple matter of just getting rid of people. But in the meantime, all of us sitting here, people watching, people out there, they rely on the police to keep them safe. So we need answers. If it's unfair, you can think about them and write them down and send them to us. And your counsel are here to listen to this. But if you want a brief closing comment or statement, feel free to do so.
Well, closing comment, yes, but I'm not sure whether you are because you are saying that the National Commissioner, if I heard you well, General Mkhwanazi and General Spear, differing. What's my opinion is that, did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, I think it manifests a bigger, much bigger problem, a deeper problem, a systemic problem, and we need. You've been in this environment for many years, and that's why we've called you to come and maybe give us some help.
Let's see. The differences of the two officers, the three officers in here, I didn't have a full grasp of what could be the problem between them until when this thing come out and they stand here and say this one is involved with cartels and all those things. I was not aware that General Spear relate with cartels. I saw him as a DNC doing his work, and Mkhwanazi doing his work in KZN, and Masemula being the national commissioner. Of course, that there are differences of opinion that did emerge, and I did know that the minister met with the national commissioner and the DNC and the PC, General Mkhwanazi, to try and assist them to get along, which I believe didn't yield the necessary result, even though they publicly say they work together, all of them. It's an unfortunate thing to can happen. But in an institution as big as SAPS, the leadership must learn how to create a team. Teams don't create themselves. The leadership prevail over individuals that you work with, and you create a team out of that. And it's clear that that did not happen. So it means that moving forward from here, there will be a need to assist the leadership of SAPS to be able to create a team around them, because without creating a team in SAPS, we will not be able to succeed in our fight against crime.
Now, whose responsibility is that?
It's the responsibility of the leadership, both the minister and the national commissioner. These are the people who are responsible to ensuring that a team gets established in an environment where there is no team. Because we don't need to agree, we don't need to be friends to be part of the family of SAPS. We must work together because our objective is to fight crime, and we must be able to assist one another to do that. But if the executive authority and the accounting officer can't create that team, then we will fail.
Then you become like Kaiser Chiefs. My team.
I didn't say that, senior counsel, but we'll fail. There is no team that win championships if they don't play as a team. You are a team, you are a goalkeeper, you are part of the back line, you are part of the middle field, you are part of the striker. You can't be a striker without a middle field. You can't be a defender without a goalkeeper. You must become a team. And working as a team means working as a team, not a by the way arrangement or as and when you feel like. Thank
But
you.
there seems to have been a failure in this case that's given rise to this inquiry.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister. And
Oh,
thank you very much, Honorable Chair, members. Those concludes our questioning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, SC. Thank you so much, Advocate Mohaitz. I can see that you are a very good deputy, and like I've always emphasized, it's an inspiration for many women of this country when they see that Chief Whip who are swinging the pendulum for things to happen for women of this country. We want to thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister. I have said that we were going to start at 3. Full members today, I see Honorable Matthias is enjoying that status. 30 minutes today. And 30 minutes per full member. And then alternates 10 minutes.
Chair, 30 minutes, does it consist of questions and answers?
Yeah, that is what is happening. 30 minutes full member, 10 minutes alternates. So if I take a set of 2 members, I take Honorable Ngola and Honorable Sokanyile, your time is 40 minutes. Oh yeah. So it means your time is 1 hour. I wanted us to start at 3. Do we start at 3 or do you want to start now? Honorable James, may I start with you? If you start now, you have a chance to finish at 3. It means you will have 15 minutes. You are not ready. Yeah? Are you ready, Honorable Ngola, Honorable Sokanyile? Yeah. So it's now 14:45 until 15:55. I mean 15:45. Yeah. Your time starts now.
Even earlier than that, Chairperson. Greetings. Let me observe the protocol that was observed by you, Chairperson. Going straight to you, Deputy Minister. Having an interest on the meeting, the Portfolio Committee meeting of the 5th of March. I know when we were interacting with the Senior Council, you said some of the issues that were discussed on that day, some of them maybe you don't remember them. But I've got this question. The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee is here on the ad hoc. I just want to check, because the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, in his questioning, he mentioned that SAPS was not clear and direct to what were the real issues regarding the disbandment of the PKTT and the implications that followed. So do you believe the presentation that was made by yourselves to that portfolio committee meeting, they were clear, especially with regard to the disbandment of the PKTT? That's the question.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. The presentation that was done on the 5th was a presentation that was briefing the committee on the matters relating to division crime intelligence, the challenges, issues of instability within the division, issues of misinformation and fake news, unproven allegations, and progress on disciplinary cases against senior officers, on progress on the funding and expenditure of crime intelligence, budget arrangements, and the allocation thereof, and the cost drivers and additional support that is necessary in the space, recruitment, vacancies, filling of vacancies, and human resource capacity posts. Those were the issues that we're briefing the committee on. And this was generally about the work there, which also included the political killings task team. That was the briefing.
Okay, thank you. So nothing was said, even by the minister himself, to say that I intend. Nothing raised like that in that portfolio committee. I take it like that because even yourself, you didn't raise it in your statement. Then, with reference to paragraph 54, it reflect on the discussions that you held with regard to General Kumalo being the head of the crime intelligence, as well as the head of the PKTT, whereby you had held discussions and you were not happy because you also needed to restructure and strengthen the crime intelligence, and yet its head had many roles he played. For instance, it reflected on paragraph 54 and paragraph 55, whereby you held discussion to say that you are removing him on his role heading the PKTT so that he must focus on the crime intelligence. But you are not removing the crime intelligence part or role that can be played by another person, not being the same person, General Kumalo, heading it. So that's in paragraph 55. Then I just want to check, did this discussion that ensued include the decision to disband the PKTT?
Yeah, so when we're briefing the portfolio committee, we briefed the portfolio committee on where we come from with the political killings task team and where we are going with the task team, given the decision and the directive that was written there. And in the submission, we said that it will be a transitional process. That is what the presentation was saying. And the issue of General Kumalo being allowed to focus on crime intelligence away from the PKTT, it was in the midst of that discussion. I've included it in my submission because I did raise it in the meeting when we were discussing, not before the committee. That yeah, it makes sense. I think if we want to strengthen crime intelligence, I think let's allow General Kumalo to focus on this task, because the success in our ability to strengthen crime intelligence will then have spin-offs on policing, on crime fighting, on a number of things that we will be doing as an institution, and will then get another general to lead that. Because when Kumalo was appointed head of the PKTT, he was a major general. And I think if you still maintain that level of deployment, it will still serve the purpose of what the team was doing. And I think the National Commissioner in his presentation, he did indicate that he is talking of a phased approach in this regard. And this is the presentation that we made to the committee, that we believe the manner of handling this, if we can have a phased-in approach, it will assist a great deal.
Okay. Then with reference to paragraph 57, in those discussions that you held prior the directive of the 31st December, in that directive, it includes the decision to halt the filling of vacancies within SAPS. Then, were they discussed? Did you discuss also the minister? Did he discuss the halting of filling of vacancies in those discussions you held? Because it was also included in that directive.
Well, I can't recall that in particular, but I know that
not particularly in the portfolio committee, in your meetings that you held before the directive that was issued.
Yes, I'm saying the directive that says you must freeze the appointments. When we were discussing the PTT, I don't recall that discussion. But the other directive which we have not spoken to, of the ports of entries, we have had a presentation on that one in at the college.
Okay. In your understanding and being there in the department of SAPS, who has the authority to decide on the decision with regard to issues of employment in subs? Who has that?
Well,
Having the minister and the national commission.
we do play a role in this regard. For instance, when a national commissioner get appointed, a panel was set in, and the Minister of Police was in that panel. Of course, once that has been done,
That the senior positions not.
Yes,
Then the lower position.
those ones will just be briefed that this has been so and so is acting. Sorry, is appointed for this position. I don't remember participating in the panel that decided who becomes the deputy national commissioner, for instance. We're just briefed that so and so is appointed national commissioner. Not acting deputy national commissioner, or so and so is appointed divisional commissioner. We get briefed. We have never participated in those.
Then looking at the directive, because that directive didn't talk about disbandment of the PKTT only. It also talked about halting in filling of vacancies within subs.
On the top stories, a forensic ballistics analyst testifies about errors in ballistic reports, and taxi boss shot and killed in the Eastern Cape. For SAFM News, I am Ondilambana, and a very good afternoon. A new witness has taken to the stand at the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria. Senior forensic ballistics analyst Captain Meldon Mkhatshwa is testifying about the series of errors found in ballistics reports compiled by Captain Itumeleng Mahotle. The errors are in relation to the firearm used in the gunning down of Vereeniging engineer Amand Swart, where certain information was mislabeled. Captain Mkhatshwa, who is being led by Advocate Matthew Chasklason, has explained how he was roped into to correct them.
What should paragraph 4.13 have referred to? 4.13, it was supposed to refer to a cartridge, not a cartridge case, because paragraph 6 is talking about examining the cartridges.
Deputy Police Minister Kasal Matale says the inclusion or not of the political killing stars team was not discussed when the new organogram of the police department was discussed after last year's election. He's appearing before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu had told the committee when he appeared that a decision was made that the PKTT would be incorporated into the murder and robbery unit. However, Matale had a different opinion.
Well, it might have been mentioned in passing because we didn't in the organizational structure discuss political killings because it's a task team that was established to deal with a specific problem. Here we're talking about a structure that must define policing in the country.
Eastern Cape Police are investigating a double murder case following a fatal shooting of a taxi boss and his friend in Ngamakwe. It is reported that police were summoned to a complaint of fatal shooting on a road at Jekezi location yesterday. Police spokesperson Majola Ngotli says on arrival at the scene, officers found a white double-cab bakkie with several bullet holes. Ngotli says a preliminary investigation has revealed that the two victims, aged 37 and 42, were fatally shot by suspects who were traveling in a white SUV.
On the passenger seat, there was a body of a man with gunshot wounds in the upper body. The second body was found lying at the gravel road with gunshot wounds, few meters away from the buggy. The identities of the deceased persons are withheld until a formal identification process concluded. Provincial Serious and Violent Crimes Unit is investigating the case. No arrest has been made as yet.
South Africans have been urged to consider merit and performance when choosing political parties ahead of the 2026 local government elections. The Electoral Commission in the Eastern Cape has brought together governance experts, civil society and the media in Gqeberha to examine how coalition politics and the growing number of political parties are shaping the country's democracy. The seminar forms part of the IEC's preparations ahead of the elections. William Gumede from the Wits School of Governance says party supporters should use discretion when trusting political parties.
People think they have to support political parties through thick and thin. Now, political parties don't work like that. In a democracy, you do not vote for a party as if you're a fan of the party. What you need to do, if you support a party and a party or a leader and they don't deliver, you stop voting for them.
The president of Angola and African Union chairperson João Lourenço says the continent is facing a challenge of infrastructure development. Lourenço says there is a gap in financing infrastructure on the continent and has called on all stakeholders to come on board with funding. He was speaking at the Luanda Summit on financing for infrastructure development in Africa. Lourenço, through an interpreter, says young people must take the lead with new innovations.
Must capitalize its demographic dividend, characterized by a predominantly young, innovative and active population, as well as its abundant natural resources and the increasing need to integrate its markets. However, as it is well known, Africa faces a colossal infrastructure financing deficit.
Recapping the top story, a new witness has taken to the stand at the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria. Senior forensic ballistics analyst Captain Meldin Mkhatshwa is testifying about the series of errors found in ballistics reports compiled by Captain Itumelenge Mahotle. I'm on Delambana for SFM News headlines at 3:30.
In sports this hour, Proteas women aim for maiden cricket World Cup final and Al Ahly files CAF complaint after referee controversy in Champions League clash. More details at 3:30.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
The Expresso Morning Show has been nominated in 5 categories in the 3rd Annual National Film and Television Awards South Africa.
It all happens on Saturday, the 22nd of November 2025 at the South African State Theatre in Pretoria. And public voting is open from the 13th of October to the 20th of November at midday.
So visit nationalfilmacademy.com, register and vote for Expresso Morning Show in all 5 categories.
Then, of course, catch us weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. right here on S3.
The National Pulse with Ashraf Garda on SAFM. You're listening to the National Pulse, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
You know, as I was driving, as I was driving to studios here today, here at SAFM, my mind sort of reflected on the fact that, like, I have my appointment to be on air. I know for a fact that many people, you have an appointment to be on air, listening in as well. And I just wanted to make that point that, we don't often tell you this, but listen, your support, your tuning in every single day is so appreciated, by myself and Timber and Keys that makes up the production team. So this is the National Pulse, but you're the key driver of the National Pulse by the things you say and do on air and on social media. And hey, that's just great. Okay. Now, having said that, today is a double header where we have both the Madlanga Commission as well as the ad hoc committee, and we may well move from one to the other. So let's do this. In fact, let's get to the ad hoc committee to start with the Deputy Minister of Police, Castle Matale, appearing before the committee, which, as you know, investigates corruption, criminal infiltration, and political interference. And then we'll cross at some stage back to the Madlanga Commission. This is the National Pulse.
From other parts of the country to go and work in KZN. They don't stay there. So when they arrive